we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens as they match up with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Steelers make their way out. The Killer Bees are no more. Only one remains, and that's their quarterback, number 7, Ben Roethlisberger. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
And there he is, Mr. Excitement, Juju Smith-Schuster, who last year led the Pittsburgh Steelers in receiving yardage and was named the team's MVP. Also went to the Pro Bowl at the end of the season, and over the last 2 seasons has the 2 longest receptions in the NFL, both for 97 yards and a touchdown.
From the 30 on second down, Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. Think about some of the memorable performances that Ben Roethlisberger's had over the years, and one of them came against the Ravens. He threw 6 touchdowns back in 2014 in a win against Baltimore. And actually, now that I think about it, that was on the heels of a 6-touchdown performance in a win over Indianapolis the week prior. So October of 2014 was kind to Big Ben. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Right back to Conner here on 1st. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That's caught. It's Eli Rogers. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Eli Rogers, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they're able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Ravens now under 12th-year coach John Harbaugh. They'll be led out by the final pick of the 1st round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
I can't believe they even let you play.
They go to the former Saint. Mark Ingram takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. We'll look now at our starting defense. Now, they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
They have tried all season long to fix all the things that they need to in the running game, and they have been successful so far. I'm wondering if this is a time to just sell out. Make sure you have 8 in the box every time and bring a 9th and sometimes even a 10th to try and stop them from running the ball.
Jackson now. Snead's got it. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
He's coming. Double up.
They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Javon Hargrave there on the stop. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, Jackson looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Fielded just inside the 20. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. A look now at the lineup defensively for the Ravens. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
56 at the mic. 3 bud. Tight on.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. This is Ingram. He's trying to escape. He won't. He's taken down. Ingram taken down to the end zone. It's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10.
Jack 16.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Throw complete there. Rodgers. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down.
Here's Roethlisberger. Rodgers brings it in. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. Roethlisberger will throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They're already looking up at a 16-0 deficit. Still plenty of time to go, first quarter. But work to be done as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down now, it's Ingram, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got Snead. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Jackson, option right. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. He'll pick up 7 there on the 1st down keeper. From the 45 on 2nd down, Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. It's complete to Snead. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Back to the running game. It's Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey,
and he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matt Judon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
On 1st down, Ingram. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Brought in left side by Snead. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Steps away. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium. For the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards, a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Roethlisberger throwing complete to McDonald, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. Roethlisberger finding Rodgers, and the Steelers convert on 3rd down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
Check, Lucky.
Now Ben going to give this one to counter. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Check 50.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Roethlisberger got it complete to Rodgers. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So they were able to put the pen to the paper this week, get this deal done, contract extension. And I'm sure that the coach's front office happy. He's got to be happy too, though.
He's got to be relieved. He doesn't have to worry about moving now, doesn't have to worry about not having a team. He's back with a team he's comfortable with and where he feels he belongs. Yeah, I think he feels pretty good about this whole deal.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Roethlisberger will hand to counter. And some room to run now. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day.
Here's counter. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
At the Ravens 6-yard line.
Now counter. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Check safety.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Pernell McPhee coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Roethlisberger. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11.
It's just me and you.
From the gun, Jackson looking left side. Andrews with it complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Ready? Take the mic. 50 seconds the mic. We got to get the ball, team. Get the ball out here. Let's go.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Let's go.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Let's go. 7 ending. 6. Yeah. Alert flare.
Ingram again, a first down carry. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Ready? Tie right. We got 4.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson caught right side at Snead. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Jackson now nearly perfect, 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Ingram. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Jackson on the move to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be from 56 yards out. And this is off the left upright, and it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Brings up second and 9.
You got time.
On second down, it's Conner. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Eluding the pressure right. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Running out of the gun with Dixon. Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
Roethlisberger now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Conner. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Second and 5 now. Roethlisberger. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Dante Moncrief. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Boswell for the extra point. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Throwing on second down, Jackson. And avoids the contact by sliding. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A big gain of 31 on third down. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. From the gun, Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. But it's going to be second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. A short throw caught by Andrews. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and excited
rare.
is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the 2nd quarter. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. Kelvin Benjamin, a touchdown reception. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Paul Richardson, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Cam Newton has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, it's Dixon. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. On third down, Jackson, Dixon, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
First down, they go with Dixon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Right back to Dixon. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
55, check, 55, Mike.
Jackson on 3rd down. Drops it underneath to Dixon. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a second and goal. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Roethlisberger will throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Pernell McPhee able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And it's hauled in by Rodgers for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rodgers with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down now, it's Connor. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
180. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Pernell McPhee able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Connor. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another? And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Yeah, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On second down, it's Dixon. And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Now Jackson to throw on 3rd down. A short throw caught by Andrews. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Roethlisberger steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Like 5. Right there, 40's Mike. Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
He'll try and run for it with Conner. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster, and they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
White 80. Hey, pick your game up. Check.
On third down, it's Connor. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Matt Judon getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Give them a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive. Offensively, wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson completes it to Dixon. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Let's go!
He got 29 yards that time. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And an alley to run. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now the pass brought in by Roberts. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 12-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They'll run on 1st down. Dixon. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, but now it's 3rd down. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? 4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Here's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Let's make these babies cry one day. Let's make these
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. And a bounce back here for him after a slow start. And sometimes that's how it goes with tight ends. Those catches in their games, they can go in waves at that position.
And you get so locked into stopping them that you think, okay, hey, look at that. We've held them down. And the best ones, you really don't hold down for an entire game. They're going to get their catches. Your job is to keep them from being big-time catches that break you down totally.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson now. Got a man. It's Brown. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, Jackson. And he's got Snead. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Letting one go deep for Roberts. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in.
Jack 16.
Now on 2nd and 13. Roethlisberger throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Rodgers brings it in, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 33. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the 30 on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he slides to avoid the hit. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. It's caught by Roberts. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Switch. No ball. Let's go.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
Hey, alert!
From the 36, Roethlisberger got it complete to Rodgers. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone say, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster, that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Conner. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. This is Conner. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
A 28-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Steven Nelson. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Moncrief brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
180. Hey, defense, let's go. Slam.
On 1st down, Connor. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. A little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Steelers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.